you can't put that limit on anybody because you just never know the situation that they're
I think
through.
you should be. If you want to transfer more than twice, submit a waiver with this happened, and the NCAA can approve it. Actually, no, the NCAA is correct. I ain't even gonna say that. We can't even do that. Donovan, go ahead with your topic.
Let's go ahead and pivot though into a new way of slandering them. And something that's been heavy on my heart the past couple of days is Kyren Lacey passing away. Obviously, we want to send our condolences to him and his family. But I think there's a little bit more we can talk about when it comes to that situation. Just like resources for these college players. Like, I know we like to joke a lot about Georgia's football team and like the habits that those players have, like driving and drinking and driving and physical assault and stuff like that. Like, I just think that they have to offer better resources to their players so that these situations can be avoided, because you are handing millions of dollars to young guys. Like, I know a couple of us on here that would probably, I know all of us on here would probably wild out if we got handed a couple $1 million right now.
I would never see me again.
I would.
I'd switch up on the guys.
Talking about yourself, buddy. Talking about yourself.
But what resources are you talking about? Like,
therapy, like therapy.
But at the same time,
that's definitely offered at LSU.
You take George Pickens back in at Georgia, back in college. You offer him therapy. You think he's gonna go to that, bro? He's slamming dudes on their neck in a football game. He's gonna go to therapy.
I think you gotta look at, like, as football players, like, you understand how much it's like going, like how much your head is going through, unless you're like Zavion and you don't believe in concussions. But like, you have to know that like you're getting concussed. What? I was waiting for it. You don't remember that argument we had? You was talking
I forget who you guys were talking about, bro. When y'all was talking about Tua, bro, you was saying like concussions ain't that bad.
I'm saying like you can recover from concussions as long as you don't have like contact to your head for a certain amount of time. You can
every
recover
football
from
player.
There's levels to concussions. This idiot over here interpreted me as saying I don't think a concussion is real.
I was trolling.
Every football player that's played after high school has some form of CTE.
Not gonna let that slide.
The bait work.
What did you say for that? I was about to say something. I forgot.
No,
I forgot. Oh, I was gonna say if you make therapy like mandatory, like me, they got mandatory team meetings and stuff. If you make it mandatory for players that are getting paid a lot, getting paid in general, to have to like go through training just to make sure. But obviously, when you pick people up, you're not expecting them to just be bad people and break the law.
Yeah, and it's not even just bad people and break the law. Like, obviously, if you look at people who play football and like to this high of level, like we see a lot of these stories where it's like, oh man, I watched my mom do this, that, and the other. Like, it's players that's really been through some crazy trauma.
I just think players of high caliber are just under a magnifying glass for like everything is just broader and like worse than what it really seems.
I think you can't help. Go ahead, Drew.
The thing is, like, even if you give them all these counseling classes and stuff like that, even if they go attend every class, at the end of the day, it's still their choice.
That's what I was about to say. You could give everybody like a financial advisor, or have like financial advisor for a group of different groups of positions and stuff to control, like not to control them, but like to let them know like the smart choices.
No, we do have to. I feel like the resources should be available to everybody, but it should be definitely a large emphasis on the guys that come in at like 18, 19, 20, everything like that. Because Kyren Lacey is. I don't want to diminish anything that happened to him or anything that happens with, but we do have to realize that he is a grown man. He was a grown man. He was 24 years old. Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to say, like, I'm not blaming him for anything that happened, but I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't always make him drink. Like, he's a grown man. Like, you can only do so much to help somebody.
And his coaches were saying, though, that he's been doing a lot better, like, controlling his anger and stuff. But when you go through all these cases and you got all this negativity around you, it's hard to, like, keep yourself under control.
Especially you got million people saying, you did this, you did that.
That's what really, like, and social media is another big thing when it comes to these young players. It's like, we can say whatever we want on social media and they can see it all. Because like a lot of these people are like on social media just as much as we are. And like the stuff that we see in our comment sections, bro, I couldn't imagine being an NFL player or a college player that's like with a big name.
And you got to think like whatever they send you in your DM, it's not under, nobody can just find it.
Exactly.
So they'll say whatever they want.
Yeah, like that stuff is sickening to me because like if you really look at it, like who knows how long this situation between like for Kyren was like sitting heavy on his heart. Like I genuinely don't think that Kyren is a bad person. Like I would never sit here and slander him. I would never slander his character. Like he clearly he felt guilt in his heart at the end of the day, and like you know, it's sad what happened to him and everything. And I just, you know,
nobody should ever, regardless of the situation, nobody should ever take their own life.
Yeah,
no matter what.
And I will say too, just not even before the accident, like it's not like Kyren. This is like the first time like where people were talking bad about him. Like he was stereotyped from the moment he stepped on the football field. Let's be real. Like Kyren himself, like we will all sit here and tell you like throwing a gun up at somebody in the game, bro. We've all seen stuff a million times worse than the game. Like that's literally just football. That's how it's played. Like I'm not saying like those are like great actions to do, but the stuff he was doing, like it really wasn't that bad if we're being real.
Yeah.
On the field, him dancing, him throwing up guns, everything like that. Like
I don't know if you can say that now, bro.
It is. It's not.
He
bad.
was throwing up guns, and then the way he went out, kind of got to put two and two together, bro.
Throwing up a gun in a football game, though.
How many times?
It's not like he was the only person doing that.
That's what I'm saying. But also, like we can say that. I see what you're saying, Zay, because like we know that he has
because of the situation.
Because we know that he had guns, like he had a gun on him or whatever. But at the end of the day, like this is literally America. Like this is everybody in America.
But I'm saying everybody that will scrutinize him, most of the people that will scrutinize him are probably people that own guns.
Okay, I'll look at it like this too.
They
like,
don't live perfect life.
If you're doing a celebration, a gun celebration, you're endorsing guns, right?
I don't think so.
I feel like you're endorsing guns.
I feel like that's the reason like the NBA is talking about Ja and people are trying different refs are trying to nip it in the bud, like getting rid of the gun celebration.
Zavion, you literally hit a free throw and was like bah 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 bah. Like we gotta be real, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm at a rec center and he's on the highest level of football, Power 5 on national television.
I understand what you're saying. I do understand that you're saying like he's advocating for gun violence and everything like
that.
And
then the way he goes out, like it just doesn't look good, bro.
I don't
before we even continue on with this conversation, let's stop talking about Kyren specifically because there are other athletes. So let's take him out of this microscope.
I'm talking about young athletes in general, especially the young black guys. They will go and they will do stuff that is really not something that is dramatic as saying like Ja doing his finger and everything. I like you can tell me a million times that like okay that's bad and everything. His Instagram lives when he toting a gun pointing at the cam, I will say that is bad. But a finger gun after hitting a shot,
but a
finger gun after hitting a shot
like this, or because if Bron do it, nobody gonna be
CD
like
hitting the slime, getting banned. Like I'm not hearing none of that.
All I'm saying is I'm looking at it like this: a young man just killed himself with a gun, right, in his car. Mm-hmm. He was endorsing guns his whole career. His whole career at LSU. He was on live doing this and doing this.
But did you see
him? They're going to cancel that now because he committed suicide. Let me ask you though:
did you see him have a single gun in his hands, or did you see him?
It doesn't matter if he's allegedly.
He's not saying. He said the NCAA is going to like.
They're going to cancel. They're going to be done with guns. Period. It's done now.
Should the NCAA? So I see what you're saying. The NCAA is shutting it down as a national view, but are they going to find contact with their players and make sure that these situations are avoidable? Because all these situations are avoidable.
That's what I'm
saying. And that's what my problem is.
I'm about to tell you how it works. You get in the beginning of like a training camp, like a pre-camp. You get a list of rules the NCAA wants you to follow, and you have a meeting with your team to tell them the rules that you can or can't do now. That's all it's going to be.
Yeah, but they should be.
And kids still gonna do it, but like it's
gonna be worse now because of the situation.
The NCAA banning gun celebrations at the end of the day is literally just to save face, though. Let's be real, because they're not gonna monitor whether or not these guys actually have guns at home, whether or not they have permits or not. It's literally just to save face. So I don't really care about them banning guns anyway. It doesn't mean anything.
The NCAA is lazy.
I know.
If everything they do,
and even the NFL,
the worst run committee in all of sports.
You can't tell me that CD celebration where he goes like, "This is bad," but now that's gonna get flagged for 15 yards.
They ain't letting him do this either. He was doing the slime.
That's like nobody care about that, bro.
Yeah, because of the Young Thug thing. They call it slime. It was like slimed out. They gave a definition for it.
But I'm saying it doesn't like them banning stuff. It doesn't mean because I'm telling you, there's going to be many people that are like
product, bro. You can't have that product on TV.
I know that. I 100%.
The ratings go up and down based on that.
There's going to be a million people that are like, oh, this is a great thing. This is a great thing, but it doesn't actually do anything in the long run. And I hope that people actually realize that one day.
All right, now
because it makes it harder to depict who's actually doing it or not. Like Kyren Lacey's doing this. They should have sent. They should have helped Kyren not do this stuff. Like, bro, Kyren, you got money. You know, you don't have to be a part of this stuff. You don't have to own guns. You know,
they definitely told him to stop, and he continued.
But like, it's just him.
Rest in peace to Kyren, man.
You can only do so much.
Rest in peace to Kyren, man. You know, hope his family is dealing with it in the best way that they can. But let's go ahead and pivot one more game.